Imagine being hunted like an animal in the vast wilderness of Alaska. For the victims of Robert Hansen, this horrifying scenario was a reality. Known as the Butcher Baker, Hansen lived a double life, hiding his sinister secrets behind the mask of a friendly local baker. In today's video, we're diving into the chilling case of most notorious serial killers, a serial killer who terrorized Anchorage for over a decade. Stick around, because this story is as shocking as it gets. Robert Hansen's story begins in the small town of Estherville, Iowa, where he was born on February 15, 1939. His childhood was far from peace. Hansen was bullied relentlessly at school for his severe acne and stutter. At home, he faced a strict and emotionally distant father, which only fueled his feelings of anger and isolation. These early experiences planted the seeds for his future crimes. Hansen's criminal behavior started small but quickly escalated. In 1960, he married a local girl, but that same year, his dark side began to emerge. He was arrested for burning down a school bus garage, a crime that hinted at his deeper, darker desires. In 1967, after remarrying and having 2 children, Hansen moved to Anchorage, Alaska. In the 1970s, Hansen opened a bakery and appeared to be a model citizen. He was well-liked and known as an avid hunter, setting records with his rifle and bow. But behind this facade, he was developing a deadly hobby. Hansen began targeting women, particularly those who were vulnerable or worked as sex workers. He lured them with promises of money or help, only to turn their encounter into a nightmare. He was convicted of raping a prostitute and attempting to rape a housewife, but served only 6 months. Diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 1977, Hansen's methods were as chilling as they were methodical. By the early 1980s, Hansen was using his Piper Super Cub bush plane to abduct prostitutes from Anchorage's Tenderloin district, flying them into the Alaskan wilderness. He claimed that those who complied with his twisted fantasies were returned alive. Those who resisted were hunted down like animals. He would abduct his victims, often at gunpoint, and take them to his secluded places. There, he would torture them before flying them to remote areas in his private plane. In these desolate locations, he would release them into the wilderness and hunt them like prey. This twisted game of cat and mouse ended with the victim's death, their bodies left to be discovered later. For years, Hansen managed to evade capture, thanks to his careful planning and the remote locations of his crimes. Hansen's crimes began to unravel in 1982 when the body of Sherry Morrow was discovered near the Neck River, followed by the remains of other women.
And they found skeletal remains. Troopers went up there and examined the scene, and they found skeletal remains and clothing, jewelry, some high-top red boots, but nothing to help them really identify exactly who she was.
And Cindy Paulson, a brave young woman, escaped from Hansen's clutches and went straight to the police. Her detailed account of the ordeal provided crucial evidence.
We found her in handcuffs with very little clothes on. She was real credible. She was very scared, she was very frightened, and she told us her story.
A search of Hansen's home revealed a map marked with the locations of his victims' bodies and a collection of jewelry and other trophies. The evidence was undeniable. Hansen's trial was a media sensation. Facing overwhelming evidence, he confessed to 17 murders, though it's believed he had many more victims. In 1984, Robert Hansen was sentenced to 461 years in prison without the possibility of parole. His reign of terror was finally over, but the scars he left on the community would last forever. The capture of Robert Hansen brought a sense of relief to Anchorage, but also a grim awareness of the dangers lurking even in seemingly peaceful places. His case changed how authorities handle investigations of missing persons, especially those from vulnerable populations. Hansen's story is a stark reminder of the evil that can hide behind a friendly face. Robert Hansen, the butcher baker, remains one of the most chilling figures in true crime history. His story is a disturbing testament to the depths of human depravity.
I was watching national news, and there was Bob Hansen. And I thought, what the hell is Bob Hansen doing on national news? And I turned it up, and it said, this is the greatest mass murder in the history of Alaska. Well, you could have knocked me over with a feather. I had no idea.
That guy was in my house.
What are your thoughts on Robert Hansen and his heinous crimes? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on our latest true crime stories. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.